Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 at Baek Battles. Today we have Kazuki's top 4 worlds team once again with Yveltal, Groudon, Tapu Koko, Metagross, Incineroar, and Mimikyu. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, highly recommend go checking them out in the description down below. But otherwise, if you want to also read his team report and follow his Twitter, I'll link those in the description down below. But while we find some games for today's episode, let me ask a question of the day, and that question is, what is your favorite starter Pokemon, whether it's a fully evolved starter or one of the original starter lines? Let me know your favorite starter in the description down below. Of course, we are using Incineroar, and in fact Incineroar pretty much the best starter for competitive Pokemon, at least for VGC has ever used. We had Infernape and Empoleon sometimes. We saw Superior. We saw Samurai back in 2011, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, the starters haven't done so much work, except for the Megas, when we got the Mega Evolutions, which made them viable. Charizard, Swampert. Regular Swampert was also pretty good, actually, before it had a Mega Evolution. A Sceptile, Mega Sceptile. And yeah, my favorite starter is Piplup. It's probably my favorite Pokemon in general, probably just because it's the first Pokemon that I had when I actually owned my first console and my first Pokemon game, as we have a player from Japan, 1528 rating, as our first opponent. Interesting team. We have Gengar, Yveltal, Groudon, Incineroar, Landis Variant, and Umbreon. So really interesting team composition. So yeah, this is gonna be tough because the Landers is actually kind of tricky to deal with. I think this is Parish, so this is definitely gonna be tough. Also, like, yeah, I don't think Tapu Koko is to play. I don't think Metagross is to play. I think the play is actually Mimikyu, Incineroar, Yveltal plus Groudon, because I feel like this is probably Parish, and I'm probably gonna have to maneuver around the Parish. So yeah, I'm gonna have to maneuver against the Shadow Attack. I think I'm gonna go Yveltal lead here with Groudon or Incineroar. I like Incineroar just so it can U-turn out effectively. I like Groudon because it just forces so much pressure. I am worried about Landers though. Landers is one of the Pokemon that I am very concerned about with this team. Let's leave Incineroar, I guess, with Groudon plus Mimikyu in the back. We'll see how this goes. I'm not exactly too sure. We can't really use our speed control because, other than maybe Trick Room, if we can get Trick Room, I guess it could be great. Although I am concerned about the Groudon speed on the opposing side, as well as the Umbreon, because Umbreon can just snarl and foul play, and yeah, unless I knock it out, it can be a little bit of a disruption. And the fact is, I can't exactly sweep through my opponent's team with the Umbreon as a wall. So yeah, I'm only bringing the Mimikyu just because the Z is going to be pretty good. And also the fact I can switch out against a Trick Room set. And we're going to see the Groudon plus the Incineroar lead, which is an interesting call here, as we will go our Yveltal and our Incineroar here. So it's not too bad, I guess. We could go for Snarl into the Gengar here. This is an interesting spot because I'm not exactly sure what comes out here. If it is Parish, I could just go for double Snarl, I guess. The problem is I don't want to give up my Yveltal. I think it's going to be Landers Ground on the back, so I don't think I actually need Mimikyu here. So I'm going to sack Mimikyu here. And, oh, I don't have Snarl. I have Knockoff. Oh, well. A Knockoff is pretty good here into the Gengar slot. Or should I just U-turn out? I'm thinking of U-turning out. I get momentum. If it is Parish, or if Landers decides to switch in. Yeah, I like that play a lot. I like you turning out immediately. Because if you go for Parish Song, that's fine here. You're probably just going to fake out anyway into my... You're probably just going to fake out my Yveltal and Parish. Or maybe sub up, but I don't think sub makes sense because next turn I would have been able to Snarl. So I think it's Parish, maybe Protect coming out. Baker going to come out. Targets my Incineroar, okay. Yeah, it's Parish. Okay, so that's perfect because I can U-turn out, and the fact is my opponent also has to switch out. Okay, that's pretty good. Sweet. So I can go for a Shadow Sneak here. I could get some damage in Incineroar, which I'm very likely to do here. I think I am going to go for a Play Rough into the Incineroar. I could go for the Z here. I don't need my Z for much of anything. I could also taunt the Gengar, which isn't a bad play here. You know what? I might as well get as much damage as I can since the Incineroar can switch in multiple times. So I'm going to U-turn and Z-move here. I don't think you're going to double protect here. I don't think there is a... Like, there's a reason to double protect here. Because the Perish doesn't actually help my opponent at all. And the fact is, like, Mimikyu could set up Trick Room, for instance. So I wouldn't get that play, actually. Actually, I can maybe Trick him up later. Let's see. The Gengar is going to protect here. Don't tell me it's a double protect. Yeah, I didn't think it would be. Okay, sweet. So I get a Z move off, and this should do a good amount of damage into the Incineroar slot. I could have Trick Room, though. I think Trick Room would have sealed this game, but again, I just don't know the speed stat on my opponent's Groudon, and that's pretty huge in this matchup. Because if it ends up being faster than my Groudon, under Trick Room, that's a big problem. So I think it's probably just worth it not even to set up Trick Room yet. Alright, here comes the Z. This should still do, I think, 70%. Let me see. I want to say 70%. We're not intimidated. Yeah, about 70. And then we'll probably be U-turning out. Oh, actually, my opponent's is a faster U-turn. Okay. Tires down to Mimikyu. And let's see what's coming out. Landorus, I want to say. I want to say Landorus. Oh, it's Groudon, actually. Huh. Okay, that works out fine for me. I just wonder whose Groudon's faster. We don't know. We do not know. I'll U-turn out. And I think I have to bring out my Yveltal because I don't want to go Groudon, risk the Speed Tie. Risk the Shadow Ball into Precipice Blaze if this Groudon is faster. So I am going to go Yveltal here. Yeah. I guess the question is what you're going to do the following turn because I have no idea whether you're going to go for the Perish Song once again and switch to Instant potentially. Or if you're going to do something else here. I think I'm just going to go for a... Maybe just Shadow Sneak the Gengar and Snarl? Does that cover every play? I think it does. Because it covers instant coming in. Yeah, I think that's fine. I kind of wish we had Tailwind over Sucker Punch now because I don't think Sucker Punch is going to help us in this matchup. But we'll see here. I don't need Mimikyu to win the game either, as I said before. I just want to use it as a pivot for Perish since the Ghost types can switch out of Shadow Attack. Which is huge in this matchup. So, we'll Shadow Sneak and Snarl here. We're going to see the Gengar retreat, so probably the Instant. Oh, Umbreon actually going to come out. So my opponent did bring Landorus, which is actually pretty big. Shadow Sneak. Which is actually kind of annoying, too, because dealing with the Umbreon is actually really annoying. Here comes the Snarl. Okay. We're going to see the Groudon go for Fire Punch into the Yveltal. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You got to burn. Oh, that's so annoying. I think that just makes my Yveltal absolutely useless. Oh, come on. That's not exactly what you want to see here if you're me. I'm going to go Instant here for the Intimidate, and I'm just going to go for a Foul Play into that Groudon slot. But, oh, man, that just absolutely sucks for me. The fact is the Foul Play chip was really good here, too. The fact that Burn affects Foul Play is annoying, because now I'm not going to do as much to Groudon. And we'll see if Precipice Blades comes out. It is just going to be Fire Punch, thankfully, into the Yveltal slot. And a foul play coming out into my Incineroar slot. Okay. That did a lot. Crit. This is looking really bad now. I'm going to go Groudon here. And I think I have to go for like Eruption U-turn into the Umbreon slot. I gotta hope my Groudon's faster now, which is a really bad strategy, but it's like the only thing I got. At least I'm bluffing Fake Out into the Groudon and like an Earth Power Precipice Blade, so that's at least one benefit here, but it's not exactly the best here. We'll go for the U-turn into the Umbreon slot, and in case it doesn't KO, and we'll go for the Eruption here. I gotta hope that Groudon either protects or switches out on my opponent's side. Maybe the Instant is possible. But right here, the momentum's not looking so good, especially since the foul play would have put it in range of full power Eruption, which was something I was trying to go for. But with the burn, it just pretty much negated that entire scenario. So, yeah, we are going to see the Groudon retreat, though, so that's positive at least. We're going to see the Incineroar come in once again. I wonder if full power Eruption actually gets the Incineroar. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Let's see. I don't know if Eruption will KO either of these Pokemon. So Eruption. It will KO the Instant, doesn't KO the Umbreon. Maybe if Umbreon's not berry, but you want to assume at least it's a berry. Citrus or the 50% berry is the question. Citrus, okay. It's a foul play, which is fine, into the Groudon slot. Which doesn't do much, thankfully, because my opponent decided to go for the Intimidate earlier. Alright. Not too bad of a spot. Like, I think we clawed back into a position where it's not so bad. It's only pretty bad. I will go Mimikyu here. I think Groudon's forced to come back in if you're my opponent. If you bring out Gengar, that just makes no sense. It's helping in Shadow Ball when it knock out the Groudon at this range. You have to go, Oh no. Helping Hand Blade sweeps me. This is bad. This is really bad. Groudon gonna come out. Oh, Helping Hand Blades probably does sweep me. And I have to play route the Umbreon because there's also a chance my opponent could go for Protect with Groudon and go for a Moonlight. So there are two options that my opponent has. I'm gonna play rough the Umbreon and hope. Or like maybe either Mimikyu's faster or Blades miss. Oh, I think maybe my opponent went for Moonlight. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So I'm able to get rid of the Umbreon. Precipice Blades comes out. Mimikyu avoids. I don't know how much that changes, but I don't think that changes much. Gengar gonna come out. I'm gonna switch to Instant and Earth Power. I think the Gengar might just have Sludge Bomb, so maybe if I survive the Sludge Bomb and the Precipice Blades combo, I can win this game. We'll see though. Maybe. Oh wait, since this isn't like Hirafumi's team with the Umbreon, it probably didn't have Helping Hand actually, so that explains why I didn't go for Helping Hand most likely, because you don't need Helping Hand on this team. You don't. So we're bringing out the Incineroar here, Intimidate the Groudon, hope that this Gengar doesn't have Shadow Ball. They usually run Sludge Bomb if you have Yveltal Groudon, but it does have Shadow Ball actually. Can I live Blades? Oh no, I definitely can't live Blades at that range. But I'm faster, it looks like. Oh man, this Groudon coming clutch. We'll knock out the Groudon on my opponent's side. And that would be a good game. Oh, that was close. Okay, so I guess it was a good thing I didn't have Trick Room, but oh man. We just got lucky with our Groudon being faster than my opponent's. Well, it is probably Perish. We already saw Perish, so probably was just a bulky Groudon. Probably didn't have much speed investment, so... Oh man. Oh man, we did get lucky here. We did get lucky. Gengar cannot win this endgame because if it only has Shadow Ball, cannot touch my Incineroar. Perish would make you lose the game because Incineroar would be the last one to faint. So, able to take a game 1, which is very fortunate. I felt like, yeah, I mean, we got the read right with the Groudon. That was absolutely huge because I needed to go for that play. I don't think I had another play choice, but my opponent also had to switch out Groudon because if you lose Groudon to Fake Out Earth Power, you just lose the game. Like, you straight up lose to the Groudon. So, It was a play my opponent had to make, and it was a play that I had to make as well in order to come back into the game. So, nice. We are able to pick up a 1 win for today's episode, and we'll continue on. And hopefully maybe score another, who knows. But, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. The Fire Punch also did a lot more than expected, too. Into the Yveltal. I also really liked Mimikyu, how it was just able to do things. Like how the fact is Mimikyu was able to put in work because of the ability to pivot through Shadow Tag. I was able to pivot through Shadow Tag pretty effectively with the Incineroar lead. The fact that I was able to U-turn out. Maybe like potentially no, if I let Yveltal Groudon, which was a lead I was considering, I felt like it was pretty bad for me because if I let like Yveltal Groudon, you could just fake out the Groudon slot if you know the sets, and then Gengar can perish, you can double protect, stall things out. Yeah, I don't think that's the play. I think Incineroar plus Yveltal was actually pretty good, my best lead possible. Keeping the Groudon healthy in the back as well, and then pivoting into Mimikyu I think was really nice as well. So. Yep, we were able to pick up the first win, but let us see if we can pick up another as we got our next opponent from Japan, 1657 rating. What is your team? It's going to be another interesting one. Kangaskhan, Necrozma, Dustmane, Groudon, Landorus variant, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Lele. I'm really glad my opponent didn't bring Landorus in the last game because Landorus is a problem. This game, if I can deal with the Tapu Lele effectively, I think I can win the game. So I think I'll lead Yveltal Metagross once again, since it's my standard lead against these kinds of teams. I have Tapu Koko and Groudon on the back. I just don't like the Landorus answer. Like, the Landorus answer is so rough, I think, for this team. I don't think Incineroar is a good call. Oh, actually, I could knock out the Lele's item. But the thing is, I would have to sacrifice Tapu Koko or Metagross. And I feel like Tapu Koko is good with the Z move here. Yeah, I just don't think Incineroar is worth it. Even if it helps against the King, I don't think it helps overall. So, we'll see what my opponent decides to do here. If it is going to be like a Necrozma. Like, I'm just trying to prevent Necrozma Lele from sweeping my team, which is why I'm trying to go this option. I know it's probably not a good option even to bring the Necrozma Lele duo together against me. I think you're definitely bringing Landorus, Groudon, Kangaskhan, and we're actually going to see the Necrozma plus Landorus lead. Okay. I will double up the Landorus slot because that Landorus is a threat to me. Landorus is super big. Oh wait, it's Scarf Landorus. Okay, that changes things. Yeah, it's Scarf Landorus, so I could go for Snarl here. Because what can Landorus do? Please tell me this Necrozma doesn't have Power Gem. If it has Power Gem, that actually changes immensely. Should I just Snarl Protect? I'm going to Snarl Protect. I want to Scout. Because Landorus, even if it has Stone Edge, doesn't KO the Yveltal. I'm thinking it's U-turn coming out of Earth Power into Metagross. Necrozma protects, which is fine. Let's see what the Landorus goes for. Maybe it's Explosion? No, just U-turns out. Into the Metagross slot. Okay. That kind of sucks because I could have got a big foul playoff into the Landorus slot. But yeah. We'll be able to get a Snarl off. That does some decent chip though, which isn't bad. And I think I'll go for a Snarl here. I think Earth Power knocks out Metagross. I don't think it should. But it's possible, I guess. I think I gotta risk it though. I'm gonna go for Stomping into the Landorus slot as well as Snarl because it covers every switch. Whether it's Lele, it does a lot of damage. Whether it's Lele, whether it's what's it called? Maybe I could have doubled up the Necrozma too now that I think about it. Because if it's Weakness Posse, I guess that does screw me over. Okay, here comes the U-turn. Oh no, I'm actually worried it's Policy. Oh no. Because it doesn't seem like it's Ultra because it didn't burst at all. A Kang gonna come in, okay. Well, that's not Lele or Groudon, but at least it's taking chip. Please don't be Policy, please don't be Policy, please don't be Policy, please don't be Policy. Okay, it's not. It would have activated. And we get stomping into the hang slot, which is nice. Big damage. And Trick Room gonna come out. Okay. So I can't tell what my opponent's goal is right now. Best play is probably just a double protect. I mean, my opponent can switch out into Groudon, potentially calling that, but I don't think it's worth me going for the risk right here. Actually, no, I should have risked with Metagross, because, like, what are these Pokemon really doing to Metagross? They're really not doing much. I probably should have just stomping the Kang slot. We're going to see the Necrozma switched out into Landers, which is an interesting play. Okay, that's not what I expected. Is it a double switch? No, stays in with both. Okay, I'm confused about that one, actually. I mean, I get the Necrozma switching out, but into the Landers? Maybe my opponent thought I was bullet punching the Kang. No, we'll see here. I'm protecting with both Pokemon. I think Foul Play should get the Landers at that range. Unless it's special Landers, I guess. But the U-turn did way too much, in my opinion. Double Edge gonna come out in Yveltal. I'm gonna Foul Play here. And I don't know, Bullet Punch gets the KO. I think I'm just going to go for Iron Head. If it's max speed Kang, I just knock it out with Iron Head. And I underspeed it because this Metagross is slower than max speed. And it's adamant. So, let's see here. Oh wow, the Kang's faster. Alright, Double Edge. Please proc Berry. I think we are off by like 2. No, we're off by what? No, it might be 2. What are we at? I think we're at 57, right? And I'm pretty sure Barry activates at 55. Alright, Foul Play, knock out the Landers. Okay, so it's maybe Min Speed Groudon? The fact that we just missed Barry by like 1 sucks. Necrozma gonna come out. And yeah, it's the Groudon, okay. Oh boy, the question is what kind of Necrozma this is, because we haven't seen the Z move yet, and Groudon, Landers, and Kangaskhan all revealed their items, so it can still be Z on the Necrozma. I don't think Lele Z. Maybe it's dual? I have no clue. How many times the Trick Room left? 2? Yeah. I can double protect this turn, and then Groudon Swords Dance, that's a problem. I'm trying to think, is there a way that just helps me auto win? I think I have to Sucker Punch the Groudon for sure. Actually, no. I'm going to double protect here. Yeah, I'm going to double protect. I got to think about who I want to Bullet Punch the following turn. If I want to Bullet Punch Sucker Punch, or do I want to save Yveltal in the end? Because it might be the play to save Yveltal in the end. Photon Geyser into the Metagross slot. And Fire Punch? Eruption? Oh, it's Eruption. Okay. That makes this sort of easier, I guess. Alright, I'm going to hard switch to Coco. And I'm going to Bullet Punch the... I'm going to Bullet Punch the Groudon. The reason I'm going to Bullet Punch the Groudon is because if I Bullet Punch the Groudon, I think it just allows my Groudon to guarantee knock out this Groudon with Earth Power. So we'll go into Coco here. We'll sack Coco. And then we get to bring out Yveltal next to Groudon. And then I can Earth Power and Foul Play. So here comes the Bullet Punch. Into the Groudon slot. Let's see if it's Sunsteel Strike. Wait, a Z move comes out. What? It's Psyche MZ? Okay, that's a new one. Here comes Shattered Psyche. Into the top of Coco slot. Okay. That's a new one. Okay. And Eruption, okay. The question whose Groudon is faster is the key here. I feel like my Groudon should be faster, but we have no idea. I'm gonna go Yveltal, obviously, and then go Groudon here. I think I click Snarl Eruption here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Because I'll allow my Groudon to live Earth Power, which is absolutely huge. And then Eruption damage plus Snarl, I think, finishes off the Necrozma, I want to say. If I just outspeed the Necrozma, I think that just seals up the game. Let's see. Let us see. It might have been better just to Bullet Punch the Necrozma then. Just in case the damage was not enough. But we will Snarl here and go for that big Eruption. In fact, it's Psyche on Necrozma. What the heck? Necrozma gonna protect here. Let's see if it's double protect. I think my opponent made the super aggressive read, so I think that's super smart by my opponent. But let us see whose Groudon's faster, which is gonna be key here. I do land a Snarl, absolutely huge if my opponent targets down the Groudon, or even goes for Eruption. Let's see here. Alright, I'm faster, so even if this Groudon goes for Eruption, I should be able to survive the Eruption. So here comes the Eruption from my side. Big damage in that Groudon. Earth Power, okay. Yeah, I tank it, okay. Then I think I just double up the Necrozma slot with Foul Play into Eruption. Because I think that should be able to pick up a knockout here. Should I just Earth Power for safety? I'm just worried if my opponent gets a double protect. But my opponent can't knock out my Yveltal unless you have a Overheat or another fire move that's not Eruption. So I'll double the Necrozma slot as my opponent does go for the protect play, hoping that I go for the Earth Power and the Groudon, it looks like. And maybe the Necrozma lives an attack from Groudon. Foul play. Oh, it just knocks out the Necrozma, so this was game anyway. I guess I could have just foul played and Earth Powered, but I didn't actually know the foul play would KO because I didn't know what kind of Necrozma set it is because we never revealed. We only revealed Photon Guys, and that really doesn't tell me much about the Necrozma set, whether it was physical or special. But it looks like it was physical, so we are going to be able to pick up a win, thankfully. And yeah, another win for this team. Yveltal Groudon coming in clutch here. Match is going to be forfeited, and we will be able to pick up another win for today's episode. So nice. The fact is that Groudon, Yveltal was able to do so much work here. The fact is, yeah, I mean, I feel like some of these sets were super confusing. The Slow King, the switch to Landorus, I felt like those were super interesting. And the Trick Room too, immediately off the bat. So I think overall the fact is I was able to position really well. Since King was min speed or like very slow, I felt like I was able to discern whether the Groudon was fast or not, and I had a feeling it would probably be slow. My opponent looked like it was orienting to Trick Room, especially since revealing the Z move actually helped me, because that I didn't have to think about if it was Ultra Necrozma or not, since I already knew it was Z move and it couldn't go for a burst. And B, the fact is, it looked like this team was full committed to Trick Room otherwise, and with usually you use Scarf Landorus as a pivot so you can get into a Trick Room user and then you Trick Room with the other mon. So yeah, with those clues, I felt like it was going to be a slower Groudon, since Kazuki's Groudon did run a bit of speed investment, so that ends up helping immensely. But thank you all for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, show support, as well as you can leave a comment down below, and also you can share this video with your friends. Be sure to answer the comment question of today, which is your favorite starter Pokemon. Otherwise, if you ever tried Kazuki's team before, let me know in the description down below. What have you thought about today's battles as well? But otherwise, yeah, you can check me out on my social medias and all that other good stuff on my channel down below in the description, as well as my other social media platforms, and Kazuki's team report, as well as his Twitter are also linked in the description down below. If you want to go an extra mile to support me, and my channel, there is my Patreon page and my Twitch channel linked in the description down below. Thank you to all those who support me on those platforms. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.